Let's go.
When I say I don't know, I don't know.
Let's go, baby.
Now, the morning drive.
Buckle up, everybody.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that.
It's a game changer.
I listen to you guys every single day on my way to work.
Well, again, I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on the radio.
You guys are amazing.
What are you doing over there?
I'm going to the top.
The morning drive with Mike Bagley and Pete Pistone.
To the bat balls.
Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90, live and on the air for this Wednesday morning, March 15th, 2023. Mike Bagley here in Delmarva Studio 1D. We've got Pistol Pete Pistone in the Paisan Palace in Chicago. We've got Sammy and Davey back together in Studio 134 of the Beltway Bureau in our nation's capital. We welcome each and every one of you to this Wednesday morning, and happy hump day to you, Triple P.
Good morning, Bagman. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to one and all. Halfway home on the work week. Just about halfway home in the month of March as spring has sprung here in Chicago. We're going to go to 60 degrees today. I'm excited, Baggy. Excited, I tell you.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you.
I could tell. I got up today at 4. I did a Bagman. Well, no, probably not, because I'm sure you got up 3 hours earlier than what I'm about to tell you. But I got up at 4:30, jumped out of bed, shaved it up, showered it up, got all cleaned up, got a busy day ahead of me, and I'm raring to go because it's going to be a nice spring day, and then there's a lot to do today. I'm looking forward to it.
What do you have on the to-do list today?
Well, I got the show today. I got some Big Ten radio to do. I've got some interviews to do this afternoon. I got to go. Well, Mia's done with school, believe it or not. So I am going to pick her up. She's going to take the train from downtown to like Rosemont, the Rosemont area there, and I'll pick her up. She actually has a haircut or something she's going to, but then she's going back down into the city because even though school's done, she's going to stay down there tonight, tomorrow, and Friday. Apparently, they're going to a St. Patrick's Day party on Friday down there. So,
oh boy,
yeah, here we go. Green
Here
beer
it
for
comes.
everybody. Yeah. So then she'll come back for the weekend, and as I mentioned yesterday, then she and Michelle's mom Yivy off to Arizona next week. So lots ahead, which is good. But the bottom line is, I mentioned yesterday how cold and crappy it's been here. It's nice to finally have at least one spring day here. So we'll see what happens. Although I'm sure the squirrel will be all over the bird feeder, and I'll have to fight that battle again this afternoon.
Well, we're on the cold side. Because we're getting the backlash of that nor'easter that let New England have it yesterday.
Yeah.
So we are on the windy backlash of that. Like wind gusts 40, 50, 55 miles an hour. My garbage cans are in the infield of Dover.
Yep.
Right now.
Mike Katoyan, can you pick those up, please?
Hey, you know what? When you come back up, bring me my trash cans, will you? Literally, we have trash cans all over the neighborhood. Literally. I mean, they're everywhere. Like, trash is in the middle of the street. The wind's gotten us pretty good, but it's supposed to warm up when I leave here on Thursday, going to 65. And then it's going to be a little chilly in the ATL this weekend. Highs in the 50s, lows at night, around freezing. They got freeze warning. I was watching Nitzy last night to get a little idea about what we're dealing with. Brad Nitz, by the way, Channel 2 meteorologist on WSB in Atlanta.
Nitzy.
And Nitzy. Remember when Nitzy came on with us back in the day? We had Seidel, we had Nitzy, we had Minton, Karen Minton there from Channel 2 in Atlanta.
I forgot Mike Seidel was a regular with us, right?
And then he and J.J. Yaley had crosswords that one day because J.J., what do you know? You're just a other guy. All right, J.J. And then they started going at him like, okay, J.J., you can't be going after the guests like this, right? Then he got Seidel twisted up pretty good. On the air, live. I'm like, oh, how do we handle this? But anyway, I'm watching things in the ATL. Saturday and Sunday going to look good. On the chillier side, so you might want to bring an extra layer or two. But we get everything all buttoned up. Speaking of getting things buttoned up, yesterday I had the big penicillin testing situation going on.
Yeah, I saw the picture of your arm there. You all right?
What? Oh, yeah.
A lot of dots on the Bagman's arm from the picture I saw.
It got better. Hang on. I'm undressing as we speak. Stand by.
Well,
not fully undressing.
Well, thank Christ. Thank you. He's taking the coat off. Take off the coat, my boy.
We started here on the forearm right there.
Yeah.
And then what they do is they give you like these little things and they kind of like burp it. They like put a little skin kind of plastic thing that puts a little prick in your skin, just enough just to get the stuff in there. And then depending on how you react to that, they go up the arm and they do their thing here to where they take actual syringes and then they pierce the skin and they give you a little of the stuff right under, and then you sit there, you wait to react. And then I basically aced both of them. And then they're like, okay, now here's phase 3, the final stage, as it were. And they actually gave me amoxicillin. They gave me half a tablet, sit there for 20 minutes, no reaction. You good? Checked me out. All right, now we're going to crank it up. So they gave me like 600 milligrams of this and walked away. And my allergy of penicillin is gone. So I've been cleared for the Cillins. Now, it's not just penicillin. There are like cousins of penicillin that you take for different things. Mm-hmm. And now my treatment options are freed up when I like lose my voice or I get sick or whatever. So it was a good day yesterday.
Well, that's good. That's good.
And because people ask me, well, what's your reaction? Well, I don't know. It's been 45 years since I've taken this. Like as a kid, I was very allergic, like bad throat, like anaphylaxis, like throat would swell up and hives and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was told by my allergist that over time, as we grow into adulthood, some allergies fade away. Well, mine for penicillin has. So
good for you. See, you as you got older, your allergies went away. I got older, I got allergies because I was never allergic to shellfish before. And then when I got to be an adult, for some reason, here we go. So now I could get tested for that. To be honest, I would imagine they could give you something. I think, you know, to like. I was told you could get a medicine if you wanted to, that if you had a shellfish allergy, it would sort of cancel each other out. I don't know. It's not that important to me.
Not worth it.
Like it.
Not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I like shrimp.
Why send your body through that?
Well, that's the thing. I like shrimp and I like crab meat and all that, but I don't miss it that much. I guess if I really missed it, like if it was a pizza allergy, I'd be in trouble. You know what I mean?
Well, if it was a wine allergy, you'd definitely be up
Well, you'd be
river without a paddle.
Kelly Crandall will be here every day for me. Are you kidding me? Toes up. Not just tomorrow. I'm done. So, all right. Well, that's good.
You're not allergic to grapes.
Yeah, thank goodness. You know, actually, yesterday for me, I did a radio hit here in Chicago talking about there's going to be some news today for the street circuit race. The Cubs are announcing NASCAR night, the Thursday of that street circuit race here in Chicago. The Phillies are in town, Baggy, your team. Mm-hmm. So Phillies and Cubs out at Wrigley Field. But Sam, I could have used you yesterday. The station I did a hit with, they were just doing throughout the day, any guest they came on, random trivia, not sports, not just random trivia. And the question was, and I was very upset that I froze up and I didn't know, what was the flight number of the airplane that crashed in Lost?
Flight 815.
I thought for sure you would have been the guy that would know that.
Flight 815, because Hugo won the lottery playing the numbers 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42, which were inscribed on the hatch that they blew up, and those all add up to 108, which is 108 minutes, which is how long the hatch, countdown clock went for before it basically took out the electromagnetism of the United States. Or the world, I should say.
Wow.
4, 5,
That is
6,
a lot of
Flight
interesting
815.
detail right there.
Yeah.
See, I knew there was all that backstory connectivity, but I couldn't come up with it. And it was Oceanic? Was that the airline?
Oceanic Flight 815, yeah.
I got they sort of gave me half credit because I got the airline right, Oceanic, but I couldn't come up with the number.
Yeah.
So
Flight
I
815.
failed that test.
Oh, man.
But I was there with my NASCAR acumen, and that's all that mattered, I guess.
Okay, so, all right, back up for a second. So you said random trivia day. They don't tell. See, I'm always skittish about doing that to a guest unannounced because you don't want to make them look bad. And, I mean, it could be fun, but you may not get that guest again if they feel like they've been made a fool of. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
to me, that's a risky proposition right there.
They asked me, hey, Pete, today's random trivia day. Would you like to play? So they'll at least get. Now, here's the thing. You say no, you look like a schmuck, right? Oh, no, I don't want to play that. But I said, yeah, sure. What do you got? Give it to me. And they said the category's television, the TV show Lost. And I'm like, great, just don't ask me about the last episode because I still haven't seen it yet. But Sam, you're the first person. I asked them, I said, can you phone a friend? Because I know somebody who would know this. And they're like, no, your segment's over in 4 minutes, so let's go. Give me an answer.
What are we asking Steve D'Souza and Nate Ryan today? Should we ask Steve D'Souza what the flight number in Lost was? What do you think? What do you think he'd answer that?
Hello? You'd have to probably.
I can reach out to his people if you need me to.
No phone, new phone. Who dis? Right? You're not going to get him to answer that.
No.
Nate, I don't know about Nate.
What show does Steve love? We can ask him trivia about.
I have no idea. I don't know.
We've never had those kind of conversations, Sammy. I have no idea.
We'll ask him his favorite TV show, and before we let him go, then we'll come up with a question.
Some sort of a trivia question.
We'll bookend it. First question is, what's your favorite TV show? During the time of the interview, instead of paying attention to the interview, I will conduct research to find a good trivia question for him.
As will I.
Steve, all the best. We appreciate your years of coming on the channel, and hopefully
Yes.
our paths will cross at some point.
Exactly right. That was Steve D'Souza. That was him, because he's not coming back. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I don't think we should. Now, Nate, you could, maybe go music or whatever. I have to ask Nate because his Northwestern Wildcats are in the tournament for only the second time ever, and they're playing Boise State out in Sacramento. I wonder if Nate and Jody are going to fly out west to see the Wildcats play this week. I'm not sure. Last year, the last time they were in the tournament was, 17? He did go. I remember he was wrestling with, should I go? Should I stay? You never know if this is going to happen again. And he went, and they unfortunately lost to Gonzaga. Remember that? That was like a 2-point loss. That could be a Nate question. We'll ask him that.
Do you know every Philadelphia basketball team, except for the Lady Wildcats at Villanova, have gotten shunned out of the big tournament?
The Philly Five. First time, I think, ever that's happened there.
Yeah.
Wow.
No Philly teams will be in the tournament, and they're torn out in the shorts about it. You thought the Eagle stuff was rough.
No Temple, no
I
Villanova.
I was going to say
none of that.
Temple,
Yeah.
Villanova,
Quit.
Penn. What else? What are the other Philly schools at that point?
Who plays at the Palestra? Is that the name of it? I always get that wrong.
The
Palestra,
Palestra.
yeah.
Palestra. See, I always go the wrong way with that one. But I didn't see that stat. Drexel. I did see that yesterday. That's tough. And here in Chicago, we have one Big Ten team, Northwestern, and they're going for only the second time in their existence. And Illinois is in, too, downstate, Champaign. So
Did Haverford make it? Swarthmore?
Swarthmore.
We're talking Division I here, Davey.
Swarthmore.
Is there also a Swarthmore too? Then
Really? I don't know.
No.
See, this is good. Give me Philly basketball.
Steve,
for 50.
I need the Fab Five for Philly here in college basketball. What do you got, Mr. D'Souza? I think he's gonna love this.
Steve, is it Swarthmore or Swarthmore? Or whatever it is.
Oh, by the way, speaking of TV, did you see they snuck the Ted Lasso Season 3 opener? It was supposed to be today. They dropped it last night.
No, what time?
Yeah, I don't know. I got an Apple update. Ted Lasso Season 3 is I know.
Ted Lasso himself tweeted, so it must be true.
Yeah. So we got to catch up on that. But that was supposed to be today, but they little sneak attack last night.
The Mandalorian also drops on Wednesday mornings on the Disney show, and my friend starts work at 8:00, but he puts a meeting on his calendar at 8 a.m. every Wednesday now so he can watch the episode. But the best part is he puts characters from the show as like meeting with, there's a person named, her name is Bo Katan, and he'll spell it, her name is spelled Bokatan, but he'll spell it Beau as like it's a real person for Bo Katan, so it looks like it's a real person that he's having a meeting with, so he can get caught up on the Mandalorian
Work
on
smarter,
when it
not
comes
harder.
out.
I admire it.
Yeah, that's well. Listen, you got to find a way to get in there. That's good. That's well. Listen, that's sort of the idea. You're going to get the boss button for a lot of folks here on Thursday and Friday when they're at work, where a spreadsheet pops up on their computer screen while they're paying attention to the NCAA basketball tournament.
See, that in my opinion, that falls into the transparency. Too much transparency is a bad thing because you have the boss button. Mm-hmm. Well, by now, all the bosses are aware that there's this ginned up button that's showing spreadsheets. If I'm the boss and I see a spreadsheet on one of my employees' computer, hey, let's close that spreadsheet. What else you got going on here?
Well,
they have to be onto it.
I would think it's been out there for a while. Well, my thing is, what if you work in a business where you don't need a spreadsheet? The only spreadsheet I ever get is when you send me the schedule for the week and where you're going and all that. That's it.
Just have a fake Zoom call up there at that point.
People just talking, arms moving. What
Just
are you
have a
doing?
Word document with random gibberish. Yeah, I'm working on something.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, we'll see. The old boss, but that's a good point, Mike, because it's been around for a while. So if I'm a boss, you can't be that in the dark, right? You got to know what's happening.
Right. You have to know. Now, my question is, how much of the American workforce is going to grind to a halt Friday when people take the day off for the game and for St. Patrick's Day?
I don't know.
Because you know it's going to happen.
It's a big drop. Yeah. Sammy?
Oh, I am.
Faith and Bigorna, Sammy.
I am. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to be
Huge day here in Chicago.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty wild day, I feel like. But it'll be.
Let me ask a question. Okay, speaking of this, Sammy, I'll start with you.
Yeah.
Now, you're not taking Friday off because of those things. You have other things going on. Is there something that you would call out for work on so you would not miss a game, a concert? Like, what would you call out sick for or take a day off for to attend otherwise or do otherwise?
I do it. I've done it the past couple of years. I've taken the 4th of July off to go to the Washington Nationals 4th of July game because they play it at 11 o'clock on the 4th typically.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah. They've so the last couple of
Kind of cool, actually.
I've taken it the last like 2, maybe 3 years where I've done that. And if I ever plan on doing the whole, I will probably at some point do the Thursday, Friday NCAA tournament thing when I'm a little bit older and we decide to maybe go a little snip route. I might do that too for that weekend for the long weekend.
What is the snip? What's the snip?
The most popular time for a man to get a vasectomy in America is on Wednesday for the Thursday. So
There's the question for Steve D'Souza. What's the most popular day for a man to get a vasectomy?
Yeah,
Steve,
it's like,
what do you got?
Seriously, it sounds ridiculous, but for a lot of people, a lot of guys get vasectomies on like Wednesday of the NCAA
They
tournament.
also do it before the Masters as well.
yeah,
I
and the
think that's
Masters as
second
well.
Popular.
Yeah.
Are you
Really?
kidding me?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Wow.
Yes, because
That's
you
serious.
can't do anything.
Can't do anything.
You
So you
can't
watch
do anything
basketball.
for a while for a couple of days
Sit on the couch with a bag of frozen peas.
and watch basketball from noon until 10 o'clock at night.
Where's Drexel?
It doesn't sound that bad to me. So yeah, at some point down the road, that's probably
All
I'm
right.
definitely gonna do
and
that.
that's a rough process, man, to snip, and then, but at least I got Thursday and Friday off. I can watch the Masters or basketball game.
Exactly.
Teams.
Yeah. What channel's
Wow.
True TV, honey? I don't know. Just sit on your peas. Leave me alone.
That might have been a little TMI for you at 7:16, but I don't care.
You asked
You know
them.
what?
Yeah,
You know what?
you asked, I answered, dude.
Well,
Yeah.
but I did.
You were a
I
bit
wasn't
shook.
well, I didn't know what the snip was. I don't know if we
Well, I
were
was
getting
trying
sound
not
clips
to
for the show or.
I just kind of figured you would you catch on there, but that's okay.
Okay, but I never even realized that was even a thing.
Oh, yeah, it is.
People do that so they get the days off for a sporting event.
This guy,
Sure,
guy that I a radio host that I worked with back in Indy, he did it. He and I tweeted about like he's just like his bit was I got this done. I'm sitting on my couch for 4 days and I'm just gonna nonstop tweet about the NCAA tournament, and he did.
Steve Dahl, the radio shock jock here in Chicago, the one that started Disco Demolition. Remember that? The White Sox game? He had an on-air vasectomy. On the air. Brought the microphones in and everything. Just, while he was on the air, they did a vasectomy.
The Bob and Tom show in Indianapolis during October would do prostate exams on the air on one of their hosts named Chick McGee, and they would call it Proctober.
Chick McGee, the sports guy.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Chick McGee, the sports guy, and he would do an on-air prostate exam to encourage people to go get those things done because
Well, that's
they're
great.
very important.
They're very important.
Well, I have only one thing to say to that. Don't even think it for here. I am participating in none of that stuff.
Well, you don't care about the Masters or the college basketball
Doctors
tournament.
don't
What do you
make house
care?
calls anymore either, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't work that way.
Right.
We are not converting Delmarva Studio 1D over into a medical situation here. No. That ain't happening. Nope. I got news for you.
right.
Sorry.
Thank God Dom's on a plane right now.
Yeah. Right.
Can't
He's
wait
not
till he
hearing any
catches
of
up
this.
on the SXM app. You know, it's included with all of our trials. And after this conversation, there'll be a lot of tribulations associated with it,
Right.
too. Coming up on the show, bottom of the hour. Headline check number 1. We'll also wade into the waters of Pistol Pete's power rankings after our trip out west to Phoenix Raceway. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll have a TMD 6-pack for you. We'll get that going. The aforementioned Steve D'Souza, the Joe Gibbs Racing NASCAR Xfinity Series competition director, will join us this morning. Also coming up at 8:50, we'll have the calendar. Nate Ryan of NBC Sports coming up at 9 a.m. in the East. We'll take your telephone calls this morning at 866-PIT-LANE, and we'll also take your tweets at SiriusXM NASCAR. #TMD NASCAR.